At this point, I am sweating profusely, but I'm done. Look at how cute it looks in here. Whew. Now, to smoke this last J. There's literal beads of sweat going down my face. This was harder than I expected. I'm so sweaty, and there was dog hair in the air, and now it's like stuck to my face. I started sneezing because of all of the smoke. I'm very much looking forward to opening the windows and turning this fan on. I think I'm gonna set up my Nintendo Switch in here. Because this room is pretty vibey. So I have this game right here. It's called Ducking High. And it's basically just like silly questions that you can ask a stoned person. So I figured why not go through a couple while I finish this last J. What is the best thing to put peanut butter on? Chocolate. Is there something better? Ooh, I take it back. Best thing to put peanut butter on is an Eggo waffle. Butter first, peanut butter on top of that. Exquisite cuisine. If you could have a sauce on tap in your home, what would it be? Probably ketchup, and it's for Rajul. He uses so much ketchup. What would be an awesome piñata filler other than candy? Money? Which celebrity would make the best president? Keanu Reeves. I will not explain further. If you had the option to never feel one emotion again, what emotion would it be? Anger. I hate feeling angry. I do not handle anger well. Imagine there's a dating app without pictures that only tells you one fact about a person. What fact would you want to know? Who did they vote for in 2024? That's a great place to start. Who did they vote for in 2024? Making good progress on this. It's almost done. You have to do a cake stand with any beverage you want other than beer or water. What do you choose? Medicated lemonade. The kind that I make. If you know, you know. Okay, last one. And then I'm putting this out. What modern day invention do you think society would be better off without? Deep fake AI porn. We would be better off without it. Look at the little bit box. You can see it's smoky. I mean, I have been in here for like an hour, just rebreathing all of this in. So my lungs are cooked, but hey. Love it. It's on. Windows are open. Please hold. All right, and here we are. I set up my little Nintendo Switch in here. And the vibes are so good. So good. If you're still watching this video right now, comment AirPod. That was fun. I love being an adult with free will. Anyways, pin comment will have more information. The girlies are getting hooked up. And I think that's all I have for you guys this time. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. I am filming a week-long vlog right now, so get excited for that. It'll be here soon. And until next time, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I will do the same.
Yo, what up, Iron Foxy, the brothers? What's good? How you doing?
I think I found a video of a ghost. Yeah. Listen, I'm box dyeing my hair. Wow. Welcome back to another week-long vlog. These These have just become like a staple of my channel. It's just part of us now. Every month, you and I, we spend a week together, and that starts today. Today, March 12th in 2021, on this day, 4 years ago, Roswell asked me to be his girlfriend. And so today is our 4-year anniversary.
What would you say to somebody that hasn't tried therapy before?
Just ask yourself if what you're doing in your life right now is working. If you have peace, if you have good relationship.
Who made it possible to get Deshaun Watson? He appears to be turning over a new leaf. He said later, whether he plays or not, that's Kevin's decision. He's saying that the general manager is making the GM decisions, the coach is making the coach decision, and I'm doing the ownership thing. To me, it didn't feel like he was distancing himself from a 5th round pick.
I'm glad you mentioned Kevin, because the question is, who does Kevin want? Because we know that Shador was Andrew's guy, but remember, the Browns tried to say like that draft video or the picture that circulated on Twitter where they all look like they're at a funeral after the Shador pick. I wonder why. It really is about who does Kevin want. And they got 4 guys in the room.
The bottom line of it is there has never been a 5th round pick quite like this before, who plays that position, who was that successful in college, whose father is one of the biggest stars in the history of the sport. There is a disproportionate
May, what's up?
that is going to be paid to him, but the reality is
definitely not gay. Stop calling yourself out, bro. Definitely straight.
A chance to show whether or not he can do it at this level.
I understand why. As much as they want to make this about the fact that it's Deion Sanders' son, the fact that I got the mic now. Yes. The fact that I got the mic. I'm the captain now. So now they want to make it as much about Deion. The fact of the matter is, objectively speaking, when you watch his tape, I really feel official holding this thing. Yeah, it's good. You know what I mean? When you watch his tape, he was better than a 5th rounder. He just was. And see, that's why we're paying this much attention to it. Of course, his dad being famous adds to it, but he was a good football player. And Dom, I disagree with you a little bit. I disagree with the fact that he didn't expect him to be there. I don't think he expected them to pick him. Period.
I have to go to a break because this is the only mic in the room that's working. So we'll take a break and get that done. In the meantime, read these for me, will you? These are the bumps. What's coming up, Luke?
Travis
man.
Hunter can play on both sides of the ball. The question is, which side of the ball is he more valuable on? We're diving in. It's been 30 years and counting since the Cowboys last won a Super Bowl. I'll tell you exactly why America's team has been mired in such a championship drought.
That's on the way. This is Get Up on ESPN.
No way. The gecko was just spotted down the street.
I've always wanted to meet him. Ever since Geico's 24/7 emergency roadside service got us out of a jam.
Sounds like you got more than just savings, my dudes.
Sir, do we know you?
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Goldilocks needs a place of her own, and fast. Thankfully, she's on Redfin. They update their listings every 2 minutes. And with so many options, she's bound to find exactly what she wants.
This one's just right.
Is she moving?
Yes. Domino's Best Deal Ever is back. Any hand-tossed, pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with 80 toppings for just $9.99 online. Last time you got
sausage, bacon, chicken, spinach, beef, buffalo sauce.
What are you gonna get this time?
Yo, May, hi. What's up, Scott? How you doing, bro?
We rise with a mission to deliver craftsmanship worthy of your table. A promise kept with every new day. Boar's committed to craft since 1905.
Design. It pulls you in. Softly at first, then all at once. Every curve, every detail holds more if you dare to chase it. The Veil Smart Toilet. Design changes everything. Only from color.
When the Colonel created his famous chicken, chefs everywhere started talking. And when he started giving it away for free, they were speechless. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. Get a free bucket on us when you join KFC Rewards.
When allergies throw a sucker punch, the power of Claritin punches back harder.
Nothing is proven more powerful for 24-hour non-drowsy relief. Claritin Clears. Now try Claritin Liquid.
Believe me, when it comes to investing, you'll love Carl's Way. Take a left here, please.
But there's a...
Carl's Way is the best way.
Is it? At Schwab, how I choose to invest is up to me.
Exactly. I can invest and trade on my own.
Yes, and I let them manage some investments for me too.
Let's move on, shall we? No can do.
I'll get out there.
Where are you going?
Schwab.
Schwab, a modern approach to wealth management.
Think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hey.
Got safety protocols? Grainger has the safety pros to call. Shop our vast inventory of safety products at Grainger.com. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you take one, it kind of feels like you're stealing. Joke's on you, sticky fingers. They have plenty more in the bag. If you love feeling like you're getting away with something, try Hotels.com. Members save up to 20%. So you can stay at a fancier hotel with fancier toiletries to slip into your bag before fleeing the scene of the crime. Hotels.com. Members save up to 20% at hundreds of thousands of hotels. I'd grab a shampoo or two, but I don't have hair.
WNBA champion!
We can't get enough of the WNBA.
WNBA.
A fresh draft
Need to
class
start
at the
watching.
Dallas Swing select Paige Beckers. Teams stacked with new talent.
Joy's a complete dog.
And the Valkyries take flight in the Bay. We've got more stars and more heat than ever. Lakes Aces. Fever, Storm, Saturday and Sunday on ABC.
We are back on Get Up. There's my favorite photo in the world. I'd like to make that my...
That was the Bears' Hail Mary attempt against the Browns, and they botched it.
I would like that to be my new avatar. Anyway, would Kmart be shocked? Here we go, Kimberly. Would you be shocked if J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings won the NFC North?
Greedy, I would not be shocked. Now, I am somebody who says, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's give J.J. McCarthy some time to shine. But if they won the NFC North, it would be because that the Vikings know all along that this kid can handle it. They have a stacked team. They have a very good defense led by a great coach in Brian Flores. And they got two outstanding wide receivers. Addison just has to get back on the field.
All right, so we have that one there. Let's go to the AFC West. Would you be shocked if I said Bo Nix and the Broncos unseat Kansas City in the division?
Greedy, I'd be shocked, not because I don't believe in Bo Nix and this Broncos team. It's just because it'd be year 2 of him being in the NFL, and they have Patrick Mahomes in the division. I think this is an ascending team, but in the AFC West this season, I don't think so.
I think it's the best division in the sport. And then here's the last one again. I've said it over and over again. This is my favorite story in the league right now.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked if Travis Hunter plays essentially every snap this year both ways?
Greedy, I would be shocked, but here's what I do know. Travis Hunter damn well is going to try to. Because he thinks that he is a unicorn. We've used that word to describe him. He wants to do it, and he has an organization that is desperate for playmakers. I just don't think it is physically, humanly possible.
Well, that's the point. So reporters asked Travis Hunter about his expectations when it comes to his workload on both sides of the ball this season. Listen to what he said.
How many plays do you think you could play? You think you can play them all?
Yeah, I definitely think I can play them all. If I didn't think I could play them all, I wouldn't be trying to do it.
But what makes you able to do that? Nobody's ever done that. What makes you capable of doing that?
Just my mental. You gotta have the right mindset going into it. You gotta have the right knowledge. You gotta understand what you're doing when you're going out there. You gotta understand how to take care of your body too.
So, look, I mean, there's so much to love about Travis Hunter, right? Everything about him as a player, everything you know about him as a person. I want to see it happen. I also, as a person who has followed sports all my life, I want to see something I've never seen. Shohei Ohtani is something I've never seen.
Every
this would be
snap,
something
man.
I've never seen. I can't
I'd like to see
fathom
if
that
he
it
can
is
do it, bro.
physically possible to do it. Lewis, you played the game.
Yeah.
Is it physically possible?
I would say no to play 100% of the snaps or even upwards of 90% of the snaps. Playing 125, 130 snaps a game for 17 games, I would say that's not possible to do at a high level. Let's put it that way. At a level that's commensurate with where he was selected. But I will also say this. The kid is, the young man is a freak. And I know we throw that term around for this guy's different. He's different. I'm with Dom. I think the majority comes on defense. I say, maybe a top 100 snaps a game, 90 snaps a game maybe. But 120, 130, you're getting a rare air there. I don't know. I don't even know how to think about that.
I'm glad you used the words rare air. Dominique, I want to show you something. Hembo put this together for me. Can we put up B34? This is what Travis Hunter did in college. He averaged 113 snaps per game. He had at least 10 games in which he had at least 115 snaps. No other player in the country did that more than once. He played 83% of their team's total snaps. No one else in the country played more than 70%. And for what it's worth, he did this at 5,400 feet of elevation for their home games. For the record, Jacksonville, Florida is 15 feet above sea level. So the conditioning, the cardio, Dominique, is there. Come on, you played corner. Can you have played a game? Yeah. Can a person play an entire game at corner and play more than half of it on offense as well?
A person can't, but a unicorn might be able to. And I love Hembo's stats, and I love Hembo's elevation, but I was walking by as my wife had on Good Morning America this morning, and I thought I saw 109 next to Jacksonville. So I don't give a damn about your elevation. It is thick down there. So it's going to take a lot out of him, even at sea level. But I think college games are longer. We play a bunch of more snaps in college than we do in the NFL on either side of the ball. It's going to be fewer snaps in the NFL. I think we ended up playing like 60 or so snaps, 50 or 60 snaps on defense. In college, you're going to play like 90 to 100 on one side of the ball. So I think that it seems impossible, but everything does until someone does it. I think that if we're going to root for Travis Hunter to do it, then I think we should be encouraging it to happen. I'm not sure that it's a smart long-term decision for a player like that. It'd be smarter to have him focus on defense and pick a couple packages on offense. That's what I would like to do, a couple high-impact situations, because so much of the offensive playbook is not going to include him, and you don't want him out there just running clear-out routes and wearing himself out. I think there's a smart way of doing it, and the smart way is not playing him like he's in a high school football game and you just play all snaps on both sides of the ball.
You heard what Dominique said? I don't know if that's a smart long-term play. I wouldn't do it, but hey, I want to see it. No. We need to rein this in, because the question that Travis was asked was like, why do you think you can do it? Nobody's done it before. You know what somebody like Travis is going to say? Exactly what he said. I'm him. I'm different. I need an organization, Jaguars.
Travis Hunter says he's him.
We think you're great. We think you're so great that we moved up all those spots to get you. And we think you're dynamic. But this is about a decade of having you, not just using you because we're desperate for playmakers on both sides of the ball. Yeah. That is my fear. I think his confidence, I understand it as a competitor, as a football player, but I kind of want somebody in the organization to save him from himself. Mm-hmm. Because Dominique, how else the NFL is different? Yeah, maybe fewer snaps. The hits a little bit more violent, a little bit tougher. The guy's a little bit bigger, faster, stronger.
And they chew you up and spit you out pretty quick if things don't go well. And look, sometimes it looks like what they're trying to do is they drafted one man to be two players, and I'm just not sure that's possible. Yeah. Meantime, let me take the break and we'll talk about what Lewis teased coming up earlier. It has been a very long time since the Cowboys have made it to the promised land. I've got facts and figures that will explain exactly why it has gone the way it has gone. But first, I love watching Lewis agonize over these. During the salary cap era, starting in 1994, which franchise has made the playoffs the most times? That's next. Get up on ESPN.
Wouldn't be surprised the Eagles on that list right there.
To get more than just savings with Geico. 24/7 fast-friendly claims.
Could I get a picture?
Yeah, it's not like you run into animal celebrities every day.
Stop. It's just a ball. Stop.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Get the drink that gets you at Sonic.
not? The mountain's calling.
Give me a positive start. Give me the sunshine. Give me attitude.
I need you.
And I miss you.
Limo Limo at your service.
I
Here to help you save hundreds by customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Probably should have gone the other way.
That was one of my favorite Terry Crews moments.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some taking Rinvoq felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events. Infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your dermatologist about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Ninja Frostvault. Meet Ninja's family of premium coolers with the cold dry zone that keeps food separate, dry, and fridge temp with premium ice retention even after the adventure ends. Ninja Frostvault. Drinking food's favorite cooler.
We live for the NWSL on ESPN. Facts. For Sister to Sister and Backflip Tricksters. For Double B, the return of CP and the GOAT. For fandom so fierce you can feel it. Because the bar is high and the stakes are higher. And we are here for it, all of it, all the time. If you are too, you know where to find us. Spirit Thorns, Sunday at 12:30 on ABC.
Check out the expanded strength equipment at Planet Fitness. Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
Discover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino in Temecula, where you can stay, hit play, wine, and dine, soar, and so much more. Whatever moves you, get away and awaken the fun.
When I started Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I had no idea what I was doing. But GoDaddy Aero does, using AI to build a logo, website, and social content. So I can let the world know if your goggles ain't Goggins, they don't belong on your noggins.
It was getting stronger and thicker.
I finally feel like myself again.
All right, as we reach the bottom of the hour, no one takes this more seriously than Lewis does, and we love him for it. Going back to the beginning of the salary cap era, which means the beginning of the 94 season.
Yep.
Which franchise has made the most playoff appearances? So we're not talking about number of games, but the most number of seasons
that they made a playoff.
They made the playoffs.
Okay.
94.
Okay, since 94. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to use this rationale. I already have a team in mind.
Okay.
I'm going to go with them. I think I have a team in mind. See, now I'm second guessing myself.
You're not even sure if you have a team in mind?
No, I have a team in mind.
Okay.
Okay, there's always, I think about, the Ravens weren't playing in 94. They weren't playing in 96. I played against the Steelers in the playoffs in 94. Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season.
Right.
So, let's see. Could it be the Packers? Could it be the Ravens? Look at John Harbaugh's. He said it's not the Patriots already. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I'm just going to go with the Steelers.
Steelers have 20. Patriots have 22. Packers is the answer with 23. The Green Bay Packers, they've had back-to-back dynastic Hall of Fame quarterbacks. They had Brett Favre. They had Aaron Rodgers. For 30 years, you make the playoffs every year. Look at Lewis's face. Oh, he's down. Oh, we've heard him. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
You know what? See, don't be beating on your chest, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul.
He gets very upset. Paul.
You know what?
That's Hembo's name. It's Paul. Even his wife doesn't call him that. Okay, let's move on. Our next game is called Contender kryptonite. And Lewis, you are first up. Lewis, the Philadelphia Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champs. What would you say is their kryptonite?
You know, I would say right now it's D-line depth and cornerback play. Look, you just have, they were able to send people in waves at you years ago. Well, for the past, the past few years. And they've lost some depth, especially on the interior. They lost some guys on the outside. Think of guys like Josh Sweat. And then quarterback, besides Quinyon Mitchell, they have to make sure that they can lock people down in Vic Fangio's 4-deep type of scheme. I think that's the kryptonite, although I still expect them to win the division.
Dominic, what is the Commanders' kryptonite?
I think it's expectations. I think the expectations are really high. They were a game away from the Super Bowl last year, and their rookie quarterback was lights out in the playoffs. I think around here, with the addition of Larry Tunsil, the expectations are super high for this team. And if they hit a rough patch, I think that could be something that slows this team down, the inability to bounce back, a team that's just starting to get competitive. So the expectations are super high here.
And then, Lewis, how about the Cowboys? What is their kryptonite?
It's going to be about line play along the offensive and defensive lines. But on defense in particular, we talk about them every year come November and December. Can they stand up against the teams that just decide to say, hey, look, in the bad weather, we're just going to run the football down your throat? They have to have an answer for that. And sometimes it just comes down to simply about whether or not they are big enough and stout enough up front.
So we'll see what winds up happening with the Cowboys. They're the most talked about team in the National Football League. And so Hemo and I decided to put together the exact reasons why they have fallen to where they have fallen, and let's give it to you now. The NFL Draft of 2021 is going to go down as a great one, despite the struggles of some of the quarterbacks who were selected early, because that draft included Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain, Rashawn Slater, and Micah Parsons, all in the first round. Now that class has matured into the place where their fifth-year options would be kicking in. But there's only one of them for whom it has. Of that group, Micah Parsons is the only one who has yet to sign a contract extension with his team, despite very arguably being the best player in the class. He's made the Pro Bowl in each of his 4 seasons. Only Chase can match that number. Either way, the point is, every team that hit a first-round home run in 2021 has extended its star except the Cowboys. Instead, they are going right back down the same path they did last summer with C.D. Lamb and Dak Prescott. How much money did that cost them? Well, let's look into it. Consider that headed into last offseason, Tyreek Hill was the only receiver who was making $30 million a year. By the time Lamb signed, there were 6, and he wound up at $34 million. Now we go to the quarterbacks. Dak. Headed into last offseason, Joe Burrow was the only one making over $53 million. By the time Prescott signed on the opening Sunday, he too was the 6th to go over that total, and he finished at a league record $60 million per. So you do the math on what that waiting cost the Cowboys. It's probably not as simple as just saying it's $11 million a year, but it probably isn't that far from that either. So why is all this so important? It is because management of salaries has now crushed the Cowboys for nearly 30 years. Bear in mind, the league implemented the salary cap during Dallas's dynastic run in the 90s, when they won 3 titles in 4 years. Since then, they have won a total of 5 playoff games, and they have by a wide margin the longest drought without appearing in the NFC title game. They were there in 95, the second longest wait, Chicago in 2010. So, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and hoping for different results. You just have to say it. It is crazy that the Cowboys haven't gotten a deal done with Micah Parsons. So there they are. Those are the numbers. It is the most talked about thing in all of sports. And finally, we have put some context to exactly what it has cost them, not just in this edition of the team, but going all the way back to the day when the salary cap structure was put in place as it currently stands. They are the only team not to make it to the NFC Championship game in that entire era, which at this point is 3 decades long. Lewis, that can't be a coincidence.
No, it's not at all. Because look, obviously, look, Jerry knows this. He knows that for whatever reason it is that leads him to be so late in the game to go ahead and extend his guys who are obvious blue chip prospects. It just hasn't netted out in the way that he wants it to, which is for them to have the same kind of dynastic run, the same kind of success that they had in the early 90s when I was playing against those absolute juggernaut teams that they had back then. And you would think, as you said, the absolute definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You would expect him to change this up. But for him, it seems to be, look, it doesn't just become about business with him. it becomes personal. There become other things that come into this. I mean, you hear all the things that are just swirling around right now about why Micah hasn't gotten it yet time. And that just reeks of personal. It's not business anymore. And that's how you get messed up in this business. And that's why now he is on the bottom looking up in terms of the success that other teams have had.
What Lewis is referring to, for those of you who may not have seen it, yesterday, Shefty, who's pretty measured about things like this, said on his podcast that it feels like not only are Micah Parsons and the Cowboys far apart, but it does feel like it has started to take a turn into the personal. And Kmart, as we all know, that's the worst place a negotiation can go.
Yeah, because when you heard Micah Parsons address the media, I believe last week, and say, I'm confused. I don't understand why he wouldn't want to pay me. I don't understand why we're still doing this. It sounded like he was hurt. And that's not what you want for a player that's so integral to your locker room, and particularly his production on the field. I personally cannot get over last year where Jerry Jones didn't go after Derrick Henry. The running game, a clear need, because again, we're talking about, can this team run the football? Can it stop the run? And he looked at it like, yeah, Derrick Henry wouldn't have helped us anyway. And he would have come for cheap based on the talent cheap. And he was in Texas working out. It wouldn't have taken anything. Derrick Henry said, yeah, I never got a call from him.
And that money that we just described, the extra money they paid CeeDee Lamb and the extra money that they paid Dak Prescott would easily have covered what Derrick Henry wound up getting paid in Baltimore. Whether that's one good example, but there are so many of them over the years. It is a philosophy that, Dominique, we are seeing right now just has not worked. From a football standpoint, it inarguably has not worked, and this Micah thing seems like it's taken a turn in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely doing something wrong if the fans are chanting to pay a player. That's normally not something that fans get involved in, and if they do, oftentimes they're on the other side complaining about a player who's not showing up despite getting a big check. Like, it's something that we all agree and understand doesn't make any sense. It's hard. It has us thinking of all types of ridiculous theories for why Jerry Jones would do this, and it doesn't make sense. It's making his team worse because it's upsetting the players that matter to him, and it's making it more difficult to acquire more players that you need. There's really no good reason for it. Even the cap hit would go down, which would give you more room this year if you signed him to sign other players that you may need. We don't understand it. Micah doesn't understand it, and he seems offended by it, which can't be good for someone like Micah Parsons, who has the respect around the league and is also pretty outspoken.
And to be clear, even as you say, well, they're going to get the deal done eventually. They eventually got it done with CeeDee Lamb, and they eventually got it done with Dak Prescott. Yes, they do. But what that does is it robs your ability, and Nick is making that point, to have the depth, the requisite depth. So every injury winds up impacting your team more than it does others, and that's how you wind up getting the ball run down your throat the way they have in recent years.
Yeah, it's the opportunity cost associated with conducting business this way. You pay more to Dak, yeah, you got it done, pat on the back, congratulations. But now, what did you miss out on because of the money you wound up paying him? And then on top of it, then you can't turn around and complain in media sessions saying, well, look what happened when I did pay Dak. He wound up getting hurt and only played this many games. It's like you wound up paying Dak late because you chose to. You could have paid him earlier. And I know it takes two to tango in every single deal, but there is a history here that is just not bearing the kind of fruit that he thinks that he wants.
That's what you're
and he's the one to blame.
It's 30 years. It's now 30 years. Basically, the 95 season, this is the 2025 season. It's been that length of time since they have been a legitimate contender. They've had a lot of really good teams. They've won a lot of games. But that little margin, and in the margins where you put yourself over the top, they haven't done it. Let me give you three things you absolutely should know if you were a sports fan this morning. It starts with Shohei Ohtani. Boy, did he have a bad night last night against the Reds. Went 0 for 5, struck out in his first 4 plate appearances. The hitless night put an end to his 9-game hit streak, and the 4 strikeouts were tied for the most in any game of his career. Still, the Dodgers ended up rallying for a 5-4 win. In San Diego, the Mets lost 7-1, but that was the least of their concerns. Look at that. Superstar Juan Soto had to leave the game in the 4th after fouling the ball there off his foot. X-rays negative. The team says he's day-to-day with a bruised foot. He has a near 1,000 OPS since the beginning of June after a slow start to the year. And in Milwaukee, the Brewers got the better of their rivals again. They beat the Cubs 9-3 thanks to Andrew Vaughn's huge grand slam in the 6th. Vaughn has had 5 home runs and 21 RBIs since making his club debut on July 7th. Brewers have opened up a 1.5-game lead on the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. They are 33-15 since June 1st. Banana Ball is back on ESPN and ESPN Plus Friday night from Camden Yards. They'll take on... We'll answer that question next. Get up on ESPN.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
First night in the new house.
Like you know to check the neighbors first before buying a house. What was that? What? Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Next level dog people give their dogs next level protection with NexGuard Plus. One and done monthly parasite protection against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Get next level protection with NexGuard Plus.
Whatever the moment, make it a cocktail. On the rocks, bartender created cocktails.
Popeyes is getting saucy. New chicken dip starring Popeye's signature sauce. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
You want to work at a bank? Why not? Some of my best memories are at banks. You robbed us 3 times. That was this bank?
This Friday.
Master of disguise, do your thing.
One in your size.
And one in my size.
The funniest movie of the year. Our lives.
You ever been to bone fried chicken? Together now?
The Bad Guys 2.
We did it! We did it! We didn't do it! No!
Rated PG. In theaters Friday.
Give me a hot pink cosmopolitan and some drama.
Give me a get the rice up. Where's the place now? Give me an early morning tea time and a Bloody Mary with kettle and vodka.
Give me a cocktail with kettle and vodka.
$5 duo and BK step up to the plate and have it your way. Get 2 of your faves, it's up to you. Just figure it out to hit the drive-thru. BK, have it your way.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. All this time I've been wanting one feels so good. Get me on the floor, you get me what I'm looking for. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Get same-day delivery and text a personal shopper for last-minute additions. Just tap Target.
This ship collected specimens from distant planets. Monsters. FX's Alien Earth premieres August 12th on FX, Hulu, and Hulu on Disney+.
Bring me again.
Women's Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods begins Sunday on the network.
Check out the expanded strength equipment at Planet Fitness. Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
Check out the expanded strength equipment at Planet Fitness. Join the club today. Save when you join for...
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blank.
Your life is pretty smart. But when it's time to eat, suddenly you feel out of sync. Refresh your routine with Factor. Chef-prepared meals delivered with a tap, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
Hi, I'm Melissa Origin, and I'm the co-founder of Origin Bees. We've used Fiverr for bringing on specialists for digital marketing, UGC content.
Wow. He had never heard. He played in the majors for like 15 years.
Hey man, he's just trying to keep it simple, man. He's like, look, man, I just kind of stay focused in on what I need to stay focused in on. He's like, Miami, who?
But thank you for the money.
Ichiro's speech ruled, by the way. He called out the one person who didn't vote for him for the Hall of Fame. That was an excellent speech.
That's what I'm talking about.
all about it, Teddy. I love that.
I loved it too. All right, here's the next one. Alex Jackson facing a 35-mile-an-hour pitch yesterday, and I want you to see what happens. Oh, no, wait.
Hey, you know what? It's like playing wiffle ball. Hey, you know what, though? If they would pitch like that all the time, I would have stayed in baseball as a kid. But see, I took one to the rib cage in minor leagues back in southeastern PA and ran me right out of this sport. But you know what? Striking out like that ain't good for the back.
Dominic, that's a 35-mile-an-hour pitch in a whip. What do you think?
It kind of moved.
Oh, yeah, no, I would live like that. Feels like celebrity game action. I could have played baseball, played a lot longer, made a lot more money if they were giving us that opportunity. Give me a shot.
All right, and then my favorite story by far, and I don't mean to make light of something that is on some level a serious issue, but this was Chuck E. Cheese being arrested and walked out of his own restaurant, if you will, in handcuffs. And if you look at the faces of the horrified children behind them, and then I started thinking to myself, did he not have other clothes he could change into? Did they not let him do that? Did they take him to some sort of jail cell? Did he have to sit there wearing the check?
They made him keep the head on and everything.
What is your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, look, having just spent a couple days down in Disney, I don't know, man. I mean, I did the same as if like you just saw like, I mean, I don't know, one of the Disney characters being let out of Magic Kingdom. Like,
But the cop, look, the cop is like, man, you really gonna take a photo of me arrested Chuck E. Cheese right now? You really gonna do that? You really gonna do it to me?
Out they went. Chuck E. Cheese. Look at the horrified
Must have been
faces of
something
those
bad.
children
They ain't
behind
nothing changed out of
them.
Chuck E. Cheese outfit.
And they arrested my man Chucky. Okay, let's go from Chuck E. Cheese. Let's go to the cheese heads. From Chuck E. Cheese to the cheese heads. This we talked about earlier. Mike Tannenbaum, Lewis, you referenced it.
Yes, sir.
That there are people, or at least persons in our network, who absolutely are holding out their faith in Jordan Love. I was watching this when it happened yesterday on First Take. Mike Tannenbaum made his list of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC, and he put Jordan Love number 1. Now, it takes some guts, considering the season that he had last year and the season some others did. But what we touched on this earlier. When you consider, Dominique, the drops that they had last year, the issues they had in their receiving core, they maybe addressed that with a first-round pick this year in Matthew Golden. They also had a lot of injuries amongst their receivers last year, and Love himself was hurt. Do you see what Mike Tannenbaum sees in Jordan Love, where he could explode this year and be that level of good?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Jordan Love is one of those quarterbacks who not only has all the ability, has also shown it on a consistent basis. I think the biggest issue with Jordan Love was how he takes too many risks with the ball and ends up turning the ball over, but also some of those risks end up being magical plays. But towards the final stretch last year, he didn't have any interceptions in the last 7 games. Like, if his biggest problem was turning the ball over and throwing interceptions, he took care of that last year. So I think he has the ability to do everything, and he's still kind of young in his career as a quarterback. He still has a chance to get better, and him at his best is as good as anybody in football. So I like Jordan Love as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC.
What Kmart, you touched on him earlier. You're a believer.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, what do we consider a successful season for Jordan Love? Is saying that we expect to see him in the NFC Championship game? Is that too high? I don't think so. I think this kid, based off of how we've seen him end the last 2 seasons, I think last year getting hurt, you touched on all the different issues on offense, but he has the intangibles. I think the interesting thing is the Jaden Daniels. It's been 1 year. You see the promise, but it's been 1 year. Now with Jordan Love, okay, what is he going to do this season? This could be a huge year for him.
Actually, like if I was making that list, I would look. I love to project forward.
Yeah.
I would put Jaden first. I would probably have, if I was to rank the quarterbacks this year, the guy who's not getting a whole lot of respect right there, obviously, is Jalen Hurts. But I would probably have Jalen, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, like right there neck and neck with one another. I mean, that's a good group of quarterbacks right there. But I'm telling you, Jaden Daniels, I think, represents everything that is good about quarterback play.
Right.
Play from the pocket, play outside the pocket, play against the blitz, play against pressure, ability to create with his legs. He has all of them locked down.
So that when I was watching this, it was in the gym and there was no volume. So I don't know if he was making a projection of what the seasons are going to look like this year, because it seems to me Matthew Stafford belongs on that list also. Yep. But let's not get bogged down in what specifically he was talking about. We're talking about Jordan Love here. I want to show you something. Emma put this together for me, D18. Jordan Love, they need to take the training wheels off and let him throw the ball. Over the last 2 years, the Packers are 27th in designed pass play. They only throw the ball 56% of their play. When they do throw, he has the 6th ranked EPA per dropback. That shows how much a play helps or hurts a team's chances. In other words, they rank near the bottom in how much they throw. They rank near the top in how efficient they are when they throw. What that means, Dominique Foxworth, because you love these advanced analytics as much as anybody does, what that means is let Jordan Love fling the ball. What is that? Let Russ cook? Let Jordan Love cook.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost with you until you invoked that old slogan that kind of backfired when Russ went to the Broncos. I think part of those things, I get what you're saying, is if you have a good thing, more of that good thing is better, but that's not always true, especially when you have an offense that's as designed as that one is. I think sometimes you run the plays that you run because they work for the situation. And if you have Jordan Love, a guy who can make just about any throw, I think it's important to establish that play action pass with an effective amount of running game. So I think that it's probably true they can run the ball, or excuse me, they can throw the ball more with Jordan Love. I do think that this offense is well designed and pretty effective as it is now.
And I think, Greeny, you're going to get your wish anyway, because as time goes and he gains more confidence, as Mike gains more confidence in him, he is going to kind of let him cook a little bit more and say, hey, look, in this situation, it may be 3rd and 3, in that dirty area, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. We're not going to turn around and hand it to Josh Jacobs, that is. We're going to let you do it. We're going to let you get outside the perimeter and let you make a run pass decision here. I think that will go up. I think how much they throw the football will go up.
Not just the confidence in Jordan, but also in the receivers to do their job.
That's look. I mean, the question on the screen: what's his ceiling? To me, the ceiling is the roof. To quote the great Michael Jordan, I think he looks good. When he looks good, when he looks right to Nick's point, his best is as good as anybody's best. We just need to see it all the time. Maybe he puts it together this season. First take is coming up next. Is all the Super Bowl talk in Dallas adding too much pressure? Will Shedeur get a fair chance as a starter? They'll debate those and more at the top of the hour, and what will probably continue during that time is this poor guy getting pancaked constantly.
This man has never got hit.
I'll ask you guys, what do they call this job for the day that you're just getting pancaked all day?
That's called the ceiling is the roof. That's what that's called. That's the ceiling is the roof. I still don't understand that saying, by the way.
Have you had your Hershey's?
Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating.
Wow. Our cats just love great customer service.
Customer service. Right.
They don't get this excited for wet food.
No.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Real strength isn't pushing through pain. It's treating it. When there's no pain, there's more gain. Advil targets pain caused by inflammation for fast, strong relief. Advil, that's real strength.
Every dog is unique. That's why at the Farmer's Dog, we put your dog at the center of everything we do, with food that's freshly made, packed with nutrients, and pre-portioned. We're making it easy for you to take care of your buddy.
Skipping breakfast wasn't a big deal before.
I got you.
But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits, like the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for a buck? Gotta be Wendy's.
Mountain's calling.
Give me the sunshine, give me a day. Give me a day.
Look, we're great with teeth. We're tooth. What would you say to men who think therapy is a sign of weakness?
When you have a proven plan for finding support and help, whether that's reading the manual when you're fixing your car, or going to get coaching for your business, or in this case, going to sit down with somebody and say, I've never said this out loud, but everyone around me tells me I'm hard to be around and I don't know what to do. You choosing to not go into those spaces is ego and arrogance. It's a choice to be more miserable. And the challenge with men is they often carry a lot of weight in their homes, in their workplaces, in their local churches. Going to therapy is often the bravest and most courageous thing.
Bravest and most courageous
Everyone's
thing.
invited to see the Naked Gun, except this guy.
What is happening?
This Friday, only one comedy brings that he coming. I'm not playing around. The Naked Gun, rated PG-13.
Turn up the eat with 4 slams starting at $6.99 at Denny's. Or get even more with the Super Slam for under $10. Full meals for everyone this summer. All part of 4 slams starting at $6.99, net row or 10. Find your booth at Denny's.
They don't know the first thing about you or Walmart Plus. Like that Walmart Plus members get free delivery on more than just groceries. Free delivery on these apples and this shirt. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
The salt on that Dos Equis could have ended up in a half-empty pantry, but now it's lucky enough to find itself serving a crisp, refreshing pressed Dos Equis. Congratulations, Salt.
Dove Men Plus Care Whole Body DO protects you everywhere. Here, when you're there. There, when you're here. Even down there. Dove Men Whole Body DO care that goes everywhere.
Is your bag, sir? What gave it away?
Oh, you're the Geico Gecko! I filed a claim for my car with the Geico app. Only took 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, Geico's all about getting more than just savings.
Next time, how about less fluid ounces?
Fair enough.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Maybe someone could help me write my wedding vows. How about this? I, Anna, take you, a man whose daughter is a little demon thing. What is taking so long?
When we switched bodies. As teenagers, we have no power, but as adults, we can break our parents up for good.
Could we borrow your car? We are totally of age to drive.
Disney's Free Year Friday, theaters August 8th. Get tickets now. Rated PG.
The PFL World Tournament rolls on Friday night with the welterweight and featherweight finals. Our main card coverage will begin at 9 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. That is all the time we have. We'll see you back in Better Than Ever tomorrow. First Take starts for snack.
Good day. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into First Take. Thank you for being with us. I'm Molly Kira. That's Louis Riddick. Obviously, it's Wednesday.
Yes, I'm here.
Favorite day of the week. Christopher Mad Dog Russo in the building. And I got your boy Essay on the big screen. Looking very presidential. How we doing, Dr. Evil?
Did you miss me?
Yeah,
Did you miss me? My boys in the house, dog eat dog. Mr. Chippendales, what's up, baby? Did y'all miss me? What's going on?
You know what? Where are you right now? Are you down in Miami?
Are you in LA?
Where are you?
No. I'm in LA. I'm here.
You can't tell in the background?
I got a lot
Oh, I'm in LA.
Oh, you got a lot of stuff going on. What is it?
Whole bunch of stuff going on.
Are you playing brick today? Is that what you got going on? What's the next? You know, I was rehearsing your little gun shooting thing. You know, your little assassination.
Let me tell you something right now. I got a lot of business taking place, ESPN and other things. But man, I'm also out here. You know, I'm on daddy duty. You know what I'm saying? I'm waking up, taking baby girl to work, and doing all of this other. It's kind of crazy out here.
That's right.
Crazy.
That's right. All right.
For another day.
Okay.
Well, so wait for a change at 7:30. That's
Okay, I would love to hear Stephen A's agenda on Wednesday, July 30th. But guys, would you be cool if we talked a little football?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
Let's do
okay,
it.
cool. Let's do that. So as
Well, why don't you sit up straight, Molly? Why don't you sit up straight instead of
our
leave?
divisional takes. You're on a delay, Stephen A. Today, lock in on the NFC East. So let's
All right, NFC East, fly,
Yes,
East,
Mike
fly.
Parsons is still on side. Stephen Jones, one on 105.3 The Fan, and scope on the situation. Listen up, gentlemen.
We don't drag deals out. We do deals when there's an opportunity to do a deal. And certainly no one knows what goes on internally with a particular negotiation. But, sometimes agents and players aren't ready to pull the trigger till they see other cards play. And what we're not going to do is go out and, do something that's not responsible in terms of, just in the name of getting a deal done 1 month earlier. Go do it and pay the guy another $5 million of your cap space. And especially when you're dealing, in our particular case, internally with guys that are homegrown here. And we feel like they want to be here. I always felt like Dak wanted to be here. I always felt like CD wanted to be here.
Okay, Stephen A., a lot to unpack on that one. Are you buying Stephen Jones' comments?
I wouldn't buy a used car from Stephen Jones at this particular moment in time. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really, really is. The words that are coming out of his mouth. We're not going to be irresponsible. And you bring up $5 million. Well, Louis Riddick, you're right here. You're the renowned expert on the NFL in terms of this panel on this particular moment. And Doggy ain't too shabby doing sports talk radio for the last 40 years. How many times have we seen Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, the hierarchy of the Dallas Cowboys, the decision makers, make one decision after another in terms of their procrastination that cost them tens of millions of dollars? We've seen that. We've talked about it. We've lamented it. We lamented it last year, involving CD Lamb. We lamented it the year before that involving Dak Prescott. This is what we've had to deal with looking at the Dallas Cowboys historically. I can go back 30 plus years where they delayed paying Emmitt Smith and started out the season 0-2. Y'all both remember that. They had won the Super Bowl. They were destined to try and repeat. He didn't want to pay Emmitt Smith $13 million. They lost games 1 and 2 to start off the season. And then Jimmy Johnson, then the coach, came at the press conference. And for the first time, everybody in the football world had seen him speechless. He literally went like this. And then walked off because he was so frustrated that Emmitt.
To politics now, we're learning more detail about what was behind President Trump's falling.
Yeah.
Maybe. We can definitely try it and see. Have you used it yet? Okay. Listen, fingers crossed, right? I left stuff on yours. I figured, I don't know if you want to keep both disorderlies out. Do you want to dab? It's heating up for you, right?
I like the one
in the bathroom. So we want to put this one away. True. It is packed up. That is true. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. I want to keep it to myself. Whoa. Yeah. Malachi, you better subscribe. You don't want to miss this. Work it, twerk it. Oh. Work it up. How are you guys doing? Hello. Thank you guys so much for popping in here. Jerks McLovin, thank you so much for resubscribing for the 5th month. Happy 5 months anniversary. Malachi, happy 6 months anniversary to us. You guys, so sorry for the delayed one today. We were trying to get this whole room finished. This is our last room, and we didn't get a chance to. So this session is to kind of get us going, get us pumped up a little bit. All right, we've got a lot of shit going on. It's been a crazy week. Not a lot of streams, not a lot of content, but we're going to be doing so good, I promise. Tone's overstimulated.
This shirt it's got to get washed.
I think we need to go to Target and get a new one. I just do not see it. Are y'all high on paint fumes? No, but you know what? Honestly, let's get high on something over here. Your banger is ready, babe, if you want to take a dab. First time viewer, first time chatter, Alien Space 77, welcome. We also got, this is Sarah, first time chatter over here, rolling up from Australia. How you doing?
420 sobriety with $5.
Woo! Thank you so much for 20 sobriety. Cheers to you. Let me get this open real nice and big so I don't miss anything. If we hit the sub goals today, I do have it active over here. We got nose dabs, half grammar slammer. We can switch anything up if you guys want to. Just fun little goals. We do have a couple of first timers in here. I am so excited. Is this Puffs by Koala? Yes, I got my new micro. But first, let's get Tonus dab, yeah? Let's smack them up real good. Okay, we got this. We got this. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 6 o'clock over here.
It is 6 o'clock, 6:08 p.m. on our side. I figured we'd sesh it up. What? What? You're grabbing a mothership with a trash bag? I'm not even gonna put that in your hand.
Grabbing it with my fucking paint covered hands. Wait, some of it's still not wet.
Oh my God, poor mothership.
Poor mothership, no one's got paint on it. That would have been poor mothership.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
This breaks my heart to see.
Same.
I would have rather grabbed it with paint hands and wiped it off. Ooh.
Shit.
What? Is this your first dab of the day?
Yeah.
At 6 p.m., first dab of the day, let's go! Come to first. Guys, anything you want to talk about, anything you want, any questions you have. I know there's been so many questions in my DMs about everything that's going on. Drop it in the chat. We will be going through a bunch of stuff. We're just hanging out and smoking here today. How come when I resub, it does pop up anymore on the stream? What do you mean?
When you resub, you need to make sure
Click the resub thing.
that you click share.
You have to share it.
Yeah, you have to share it so it pops up.
Absolutely, because we don't get a chance to see it on our side unless you want us to see it. Malcor resub for the 6th month for 20 sobriety with the bits. We got Google 91 with the first time chatter. That's a glob. How was your glob, speaking of? You know what? I will drop a banger on it, and I will. Actually, we need some more ice. Melkor, dang key with a 5 gifted sub. Well, let me sit my ass back down. Actually, I need ISO, so I gotta stand back up. Dang. Hold on, shit. They can't hear you, babe. Here you go. Here.
Oh, Lewis.
Give me your shirt. I'll click it. How are you gonna talk if it's in your mouth?
I'm gonna put it down. Chat, what's up? My chair's dirty. I've been touching it with paint hands. Big life moves, chat. Gigantic life moves.
Can I just say, I would like to make a prediction.
Predicted.
I think I'm gonna bust my ass falling down those stairs.
You think you're gonna bust out the
Guys, we were painting everything, right? And we bought this paint remover because, I mean, it should just be falling everywhere. It is what it is, you know? So we bought this paint remover and I cleaned, like I got all of it almost all over the stairs because I'm trying to remove the paint off of the staircase because a bunch of drippity dropped. That shit is so fucking slippery. Every time I walk with socks on, I'm like,
that drip drop.
Okay, thank
That
you.
drip
Here's the
drippity
thing.
drop.
We need ISO. Okay.
Little Maya, I am super excited. I can't wait to show you guys. I can't wait for just the different types of things that we're going to be able to do. Things that you guys haven't even thought of. Streams that you guys definitely never thought were possible, for sure. Get house slippers, maybe? For sure. For sure, the house slippers. Yo, KP, what up, killer? Yeah, I've been trying to bust. Oh.
Somebody's saying
See
something.
ya.
I just don't know. We're getting work. There's so many things happening right now, you guys. We got the pool getting cleaned up and like ready for photos because we got to take pictures for the listing. We got our catio hole for the cats getting closed up. That's the guy that's downstairs right now. Bing Gusto, welcome, first time chatter. Listen, how you gonna clean your bangers? You're gonna do this. You're gonna take you some 99% ISO. You're gonna say thank you, Dang Dang, for the 5 gifted subs. Woo! Also, Christina Vink, thank you so much for resubscribing for the 4th month. We're gonna pour this in here so that I can make sure to clean the bangers. I need to hang it. Here we go. Get that filled up right there. Hey, Momo Modelo. They're currently on a 5-month streak. Thank you so much, damn you guys. We are on level 3 completed Hive Train. Listen, thank you guys so much. Truly appreciate you guys. There is an LA hangout next month, so if anybody can drop the link for the RSVP, please do. I wanted to put this banger on, but it's like so sticky because it was sitting in like old ISO tubs. So let's go ahead and soak it off real nice. Right there. Same with this other one. Right there. And then we're also gonna throw in Tone's banger right there. Okay, I'm gonna be going in with a nice little dab over here. Somebody please drop the link for the RSVP for the Benjamin and Hike. Hi, baby. The Benjamin and Hike. You get a goodie bag worth of $200 worth of stuff so that you can vape and hike with us. Hey, Brittany, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Yo, I'm warm. Brittany.
I just thought of painting the British flag on your knee.
Brittany.
Get it?
Yeah, I do get it.
Kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
Like a little water.
Let me see it.
And then if
Do it right now.
start going like this, or you could do Brit and then
Knee, Brittany. I love the idea. I definitely do. Oh, the hike is not with Dang Dang. I'm so sorry, you guys. It is with a different company.
Yes.
Yay.
What is this?
So perfect. It's $100 worth of flowers from Trader Joe's.
Can you believe it?
This color. So
fun.
pretty.
This is gonna be fun.
Today we are at our book launch party here in West Hollywood. We are at the Artistry in WeHo. We are about to host a little launch for our book that just came out this week.
This has been such a fun journey. I can't believe we're actually here at the book release party. It's happening. I couldn't be happier. I'm so glad we got to do this together. It's
so crazy.
Fun.
Yes.
Shout out to Coral Reefer for doing our look boo-boos.
Doing it.
Okay.
Hi, friends. Welcome to That High Couple, where we explore and discuss our passion for cannabis.
On today's video, we are so excited to be sharing our brand new book, The Art of the High Life, with you guys.
Yes, I can't believe believe this is a real tangible thing in my hand right now, and this video is going to walk you through the story behind how this became a reality and what you can expect to find in this little treasure.
We've spent probably the last year and a half working on this from start to finish, and it's out and available now. So we just wanted to make a video, go through it all with you guys, session up together and celebrate the fact that this is a real, actual thing now.
First and foremost, we are celebrating. We want to give a huge shout out to Mango Publishing, our publisher, for really helping us as first-time authors in order to make this exactly what we want it is, because there are so many things that I can't believe that they allowed us to do, just even from the colors alone. Every single page in this book is full color. Even the chapters are like color-coded. Like, what?
It's so cool. Yeah, it's beautiful. All of the graphic work came out amazing. And yeah, they really held our hand along the way with like figuring out everything that we wanted to put in it, the best way to structure it. We really just kind of wanted to take everything that we've put out into this channel, kind of education-wise, lifestyle-wise, and just put it into one tangible, single, physical book. I think one of my favorite parts of this whole process of writing the book was that we got to do it together. And it also involved a bigger team. Always done That High Couple as just us, kind of a side hustle, like fun hobby to do on the weekend. But this was the first like big project that involved outside professionals and deadlines and meetings and working with a big team. Everyone from our editor to our graphics person, like it's just so cool to work with, and it was such a fun step up, it felt like, for us, when most of the time it really is just us doing it all. It's so cool to work on such a big group project over such a long period of time.
I really love that this is more than just a stoner guide.
It's really a coffee table book meets journal, meets lifestyle guide.
Yes.
It's very interactive. It's got a lot of fun prompts, cannabis date night planners. You've got tolerance trackers. We're assuming you're going to be high when you're reading it, so we want it to be visually stimulating. But there's a lot of fun illustrations. All the chapters are different colors as well. So it really it's a beautiful book. It came out great. We think it'd be great to have on your bookshelf. We also think it's a great gift too. Currently available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon are the easiest places to get it. It's at a couple independent bookstores, but online we'll definitely have both of those linked below.
And if you've already picked up your own copy, leave a comment below. Let us know, what was your favorite section of the book? We always want to hear from the community that helped make this book a reality.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting us along the way. It's really like we could not have been able to write a book without you guys. So we love you so much. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Do that already. Click right over here. That is the subscribe button.
Yes.
You should do it.
If you're already a fan enough to purchase a book, I highly recommend that you join our Patreon club, exclusive videos you've never seen before.
Right over there, and either of the thumbnails right now for more videos off to the side.
Hey, thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Sending good vibes.
Ready to activate AI across your enterprise now? MuleSoft can help. It's the unified platform for integration, automation.
Hi there, everyone. It's 4 o'clock in the East. In the words of one person who played an outside role, a role bigger than arguably just about anyone else in helping to propel Donald Trump to the White House, the Epstein case is now, quote, a line in the sand. Joe Rogan, whose last-minute endorsement of Donald Trump back in November generated endless political debates among Democrats about whether Kamala Harris should have gone on his show, wondering if it would have been determinative in November's outcome. That guy, Joe Rogan, is out with a crystal clear warning for Donald Trump, that Trump's evasiveness and Trump's gaslighting on the Epstein case is hurting his credibility now on everything else. Watch.
This is a line in the sand. Yeah. This one's a line in the sand. Yeah. Because this is one where there's a lot of stuff about, when we thought Trump was going to come in and then
Bro, that line been there, man.
We're going to drain the swamp, we're going to figure everything out. And when you have this one hardcore line in the sand that everybody's been talking about forever, and then they're trying to gaslight you on that.
Rogan also ripped to shreds the defense that Team Trump has argued and played on his show. Here's what he said about FBI Director Kash Patel's appearance on his show last month.
The Epstein stuff is so crazy because when Kash Patel was on here and he was like, there's nothing. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. My thought was, and people are like, why didn't you push back more? My thought was like, I'm just going to put this out there and let the internet do its work. Because there's nothing I could, the guy saying there's no tapes, there's no video, that doesn't make any sense. Everyone knows it doesn't make any sense. The whole thing was nuts. And then he's like, well, we have a film, we're going to release that film. And the film has a minute missing from it.
Yeah.
Like, do you think we're babies? Like, what is this?
So much to unpack there, right? But part of the reason that Rogan said that Epstein is a, quote, line in the sand, part of what he argues, part of what the complaint is centered around, is that Donald Trump is now at the center of so many more unanswered questions that seem to multiply with every comment Trump makes. On Monday, Trump said this.
For years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth. And by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them. I never had the privilege of going to his island. And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island.
What? What? They break up as friends because he, quote, stole people from him? People or property? And then Trump claims he never had the privilege? Going to the island? Okay. Is it best a curious and ill-advised choice of words to call that privilege? But also this stealing of people from him as though those people were his property and Epstein stole his property? It's a fair interpretation of those comments. You recall that the Trump administration has been saying that Epstein and Trump had a falling out because Epstein was a, quote, creep. That's been the line from the press folks. Trump was asked now about these conflicting answers today, and that led reporters to ask more questions. Listen.
You said yesterday your falling out with Jeffrey Epstein was over him taking some of the workers from your business. But your administration in the past said that you threw him out because he was a creep. So can you explain that discrepancy?
They're the same thing, it's sort of a little bit of the same thing. But no, he took people that worked for me, and I told him don't do it anymore, and he did it. And I said, stay the hell out of here. Yeah. In the spa. Yeah, people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world at Mar-a-Lago. And people were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told them, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again. And I said, out of here.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people. Yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, as you know. None whatsoever.
What year is it? What are we talking about? Trump is talking in that sound you just listened to about a victim named Virginia Giuffre. She's one of Jeffrey Epstein's better known victims. We know a lot about her as a victim. She died by suicide this April. In the midst of all this, Trump is trying to refocus attention on Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice and longtime girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, whose attorney has made clear that she would like a pardon or commutation for what it's not clear. Today, she told Congress she would testify only under immunity. Some of Trump's media allies are already laying the groundwork for Trump to comply with that request and grant her clemency. Listen to MAGA influencer Charlie Kirk.
If anybody actually has the information of what has happened around Jeffrey Epstein, it's not going to be some James Comey created file. It is going to be Ghislaine Maxwell.
Do you know who created the Ghislaine Maxwell? Well, forget it. And now we're not on Earth One anymore. So for those of you interested in how this goes on Earth 2, here's how the new narrative that Joe Rogan, for one, isn't buying goes. The files created by the investigators that sent Ghislaine Maxwell to prison and before he committed suicide, Jeffrey Epstein to jail, those files are a hoax. Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted, will singularly tell a truth that can't be found in the files, I guess. It's not clear even from the MAGA telling, which again, Joe Rogan, for his part, isn't buying. It's not clear how a pardon for Maxwell, a convicted sex trafficker, convicted predator, convicted felon, it's not clear how pardoning that person would sit with the American public or even Trump's base of supporters. Charlie Kirk is trying. He's laying the groundwork just in case. Not to say anything of how any of Epstein or Maxwell's victims would feel about a pardon.
And then there's Trump's other very, I guess, personal attorney, Alina Habba. Trump appointed her to be the interim U.S. attorney for New Jersey, despite a complete lack of qualifications for the job and a history of saying things like this.
Somebody said to me, Alina, would you rather be smart or pretty? And I said, oh, easy, pretty.
Why not
I can
both?
fake being smart.
I don't know if you can, Alina. That's the thing. Now, U.S. attorneys are really not supposed to be lackeys for the president, just to state the obvious. There's only 93 of them across the country. And under the law, Trump could only make Alina Habba or anyone else who's in this position interim U.S. attorney for 120 days. After that 120 days was up, judges for the Federal District Court in New Jersey, they got to decide whether or not to keep her in that job. And those judges chose not to let Habba keep serving as U.S. attorney, choosing another prosecutor to replace her. And then the Trump administration abruptly fired Habba's replacement and took advantage of a loophole in the law to put Habba back in the job. They essentially made Alina Habba her own assistant so that once the job was open, she could step in and fill the role, even though her time is up. It's a completely blatant end run around the normal process for making sure that U.S. attorneys are qualified and impartial prosecutors. And the Trump administration is doing this to install loyalists as U.S. attorneys all across the country. In the Northern District of New York, Trump appointed a man named John Sarconi to be the interim U.S. attorney. Just like Alina Habba, he served for 120 days, after which the judges in that district chose to kick him out of that job. And just like Alina Habba, the Trump administration kept him in that job by making him his own assistant. What a trick. Same thing in Nevada. Trump appointed a member of the Republican National Committee for the nonpartisan role of U.S. attorney. More than 100 retired federal and state judges wrote the court opposing her nomination specifically. But Trump used a similar trick to keep her in that role as well. And then there's Trump's pick to be the U.S. attorney in the Central District of California, a former Republican state lawmaker with a long history as a bit of a conservative crusader. Now, since taking that job, he has brought federal charges against a California union leader arrested in an ICE protest. He stood idly by during the violent detention of U.S. Senator Alex Padilla, who was tackled to the ground trying to ask a question at a press conference. He's pushed prosecutors to bring more cases against immigrants, even when those cases lack evidence. Under Azalea, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Central California has already lost a third of its career staff. No wonder why. And just today, his office dropped a fraud case against a fast food chain owner and major Trump donor who the Justice Department has called a serial tax cheat. Now the Trump administration has used that same trick to keep him in that job as well. There are 93 U.S. attorneys serving in all 50 states plus U.S. territories. They are the ones in charge of prosecuting any federal crime that happens within their jurisdiction. Medicaid fraud, financial crimes, even terrorism cases all end up on the desk of U.S. attorneys. That's why that job is supposed to be completely apolitical. But Trump is taking unprecedented steps to put his own handpicked people in at least some of those key jobs. And they all know that to keep those jobs, they will need to be loyal foot soldiers for Trump. Trump's own personal attorneys have provided them all the example and role modeling that they need. Joining me now is one of my favorite legal minds, probably one of yours too. He's Andrew Weissman. You know he's a former FBI general counsel and former assistant U.S. attorney, as well as an MSNBC legal analyst. Okay, Andrew, there are so many things I want to ask you about. I just want to start with the Bovee news because he was just confirmed in about the last 15 minutes. You understand very well the importance of the Third Circuit Court specifically. I believe you've brought cases there. What are the consequences of Bovee sitting on that bench for a lifetime appointment?
Well, I think one has to zoom out and think about this in terms of what it says about checks and balances in this country. The fact that Congress, if you needed any more proof that Congress is asleep at the switch and has become sort of a lapdog to Donald Trump, at least the Republican-controlled Congress, this is an example. This is not a normal candidate, and the amount of proof as to why he is unfit is sort of overwhelming. And second, if you think about that in terms of what has happened to one check, which is Congress, this is another attack on the only other branch that it has served to be a check, which is the courts.
To politics now.
USDA choice ribeye must have cost a fortune, huh? Oh, right. The lowest prices of any national grocery store. It's an Aldi thing.
My name is Sarah Grant. I'm in possession of evidence of an unlawful cover-up.
There are a number of whistleblower support organizations.
No, I just want to give everything back.
There are official channels, but there are unofficial ones.
Who is he?
I help people who see things they shouldn't have. Maybe should have looked the other way, but they can't.
I've never met him. That's kind of the point. It's a messaging service. They call you back.
This is the Tri-State Relay Service.
What is that? It's a hearing-assisted device for the deaf.
The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 prohibits relay operators from disclosing the content of any relay conversation.
The person who's called you will type their conversation and I'll read it to you. No calls are recorded and everything you say is confidential.
There's a van parked out front. I think they're watching me.
They may try to scare you. They may try to make a deal. This is the only deal. We are not bodyguards. We are intermediaries. We can help you return the documents whilst maintaining leverage to protect you.
Has it ever gone wrong? Sometimes we have to walk away.
Are you lonely?
I recommend we keep communication to a minimum.
Do you have the packages?
Yes.
We got our guy.
They know who you are. You're in big danger. Why'd you do this for me?
That is my job.
Thank you for using the Tri-State Relay Service. Have a wonderful night.
To politics now, we're learning more detail about what was behind President Trump's falling out with Jeffrey Epstein. The president now saying the rift started after Epstein, quote,
back and forth. That's a lot of it carries, but they're hitting the same shit. That's true. Oh, live here on YouTube.
New Yorkers and police officers gathering last night to honor.
I threw it on the ground. Welcome to the real world, Jack.
Joining me now, Ben Rhodes, former Deputy National Security Advisor.
Welcome to the world. I took it and threw it on the ground. Really?
President Trump is calling on. President.
He trying to change it back to right? Flip it upside down. I know you ain't. Say it, man. Come out a lot. Safeness.
Hey, it's Will Salachan from The Bulwark. I'm here with my buddy Sam.
Hey, how you own people?
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy. And as a therapist myself, of course I'm going to say that's a great idea. But first, let's talk about the things they don't tell you. First of all, you're going to say, I'm fine, like 300 times. Spoiler alert, your therapist will see right through that. And how does that make you feel? Yes, they actually use this phrase. And yes, they actually want to know the answer. Then there's the crying. Like 1 minute you're talking about your race that you got at work, and then the next minute you're talking about how when you were 6 years old, your mom left you in the aisle in the grocery store because she went to the next aisle to get some milk because she thought that you were right there next to her. Come to find out, that's when your abandonment issue started. And homework. Yes, there's homework. But here's the thing. By the end of it, therapy can actually make you feel better. And you'll be like, why didn't I start this sooner?
Yeah. Hey, is that family lunch any of the presidents?
Harley Davidson of Wesley Chapel wants to buy your bike. Demand is high for our most popular models, so your trade just became more valuable. We'll pay you top dollar for your motorcycle. All makes, all models. So trade in and trade up today. Visit Wesley Chapel. We want your bike.
Dragon.
Harley Davidson of Wesley Chapel.
Crooked guy.
Hey, it's Will Salachan from The Bulwark. I'm here with my buddy Sam Stein, the managing editor. We're following the Jeffrey Epstein craziness that's been going on. Donald Trump saying all sorts of wild stuff on Air
Jeffrey
Force
Epstein.
One.
Never heard of that. What are we talking about?
Who is this? In fact, that's pretty much what Donald Trump's been saying. Never heard of the guy.
So we're all following this, and a lot of you guys are following this, but there's now been some polling to find out, on a statistical, scientific basis, what do Americans think about this and what the government's doing about it. New poll out, Washington Post, a couple other polls, one done by economist YouGov, another one done by Emerson last week. And so they're just trying to find out what Americans think about this. Sam, is there anything that you've noticed in public opinion that struck out to you?
Well, the first thing was like, I kind of wanted to know how much people were actually paying attention to this. Obviously, the conventional wisdom would be that a huge amount, because it's not like your typical political story, right? It's involving an actual convicted sex offender. It involves, incredible conspiracy theories that relate to, satanic pedophile rings that run the government. I mean, it's like insane stuff. And then on top of that, it's been such a cause for semi-political and apolitical media. So like the bro magosphere podcasting networks love this stuff. And so my assumption was that it has really broken through. And I think today's Washington Post poll, it's kind of an interesting way to conduct a poll. I think they sent like 1,000 text messages or something like that. It does suggest it's really breaking through. It said 26% of people said they've been following this a lot. 38% said they had been following this somewhat. So if you add those together, I'm not a mathematician, journalists are not, but that's 64%, I'm pretty sure. And even on top of that, you have 24% who saying they're following this a little. Only 11% of the public says they are not following this at all. That might seem like, people might look at that and be like, oh, well, that seems like not that many, but that's like a huge amount for a major political story. It's a huge amount. And so it clearly is breaking through. And that's what really dives out to me. I mean, obviously we'll get into how Trump's handling this approval on that, but as a strict political matter, at first people have to be paying attention to it, and it seems like they are.
Yeah, I was skeptical of this poll. As soon as I saw it was a text poll, I'm like, oh, come on, text.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, phones, who answers phones? Yeah, and I got to say, I looked carefully at the methodology, and what they said is it's a panel, so it's not like randomly texting people. They have the text numbers, and they're using that to conduct the poll, but selection is conventional. So
okay. So yeah, it's legit.
We can believe some of that. Let me flag a couple of things. There are 3 things in this poll and 1 thing in another poll that sort of stood out to me. Let me just go through them and hit you with one of them to start with. This is in no particular order. This is the Post poll. Do you think the Epstein files contain embarrassing information about Trump? Okay, so obviously, Democrats and independents think so. Among Republicans, they're an even split, Sam. 31% said yes, 30% said no. That was a surprise to me. Does that surprise you at all?
I don't know. I mean, he's been pretty. It's been pretty well known at this point that he was on the flight logs, although maybe some people suppress that knowledge. And then there's been a couple of reports about birthday cards or notes and greetings between the two, and there's videos that are surfacing. So while Republicans are likely to say or to defend Trump and believe the best of him, I think even in these times, people are willing to say, yeah, he probably had some shady stuff going on in prior to 2004, but that was in the past. And so maybe not totally surprised with that. Were you?
Most of these numbers, when I looked at them, Republicans were actually way more on Trump's side than I expected. Because
you thought more Republicans should have said yes. There's embarrassing.
No, I thought that the Republicans were falling into line, like whatever Trump says.
Yeah.
So it surprised me. There were more Republicans saying yes to this question because I think because usually on a lot of these polls they're not answering the question. They're saying what's the Trump position? What's the Democrat position?
Yeah.
Right? And that's. So they know that the answer is Trump did nothing wrong, but here they're saying obviously that there is some embarrassment. So reality seems to be breaking through.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw another one at you.
Sure.
This one's not specific to Trump, just surprised me. Do you believe the medical examiner's ruling that Epstein died by suicide in jail?
I'm Annie. I'm the lead activation manager here at Postcard Mania. I started here about 3 years ago. I just moved from out of state. I was ready for a career change, and Postcard Mania caught my eye. I started as a lead activator, and within about 4 months was promoted to manager. So lead activation is kind of a starting point for sales. We're the first point of contact for any lead that comes in, so someone requesting information about our products and services. It's an
awesome place to start if you're interested in sales. We love to promote from within. I've had many lead activators come through and get promoted to sales. There's really no experience needed. We write a script for you and we set you up for success. I think the
Or do you believe he was murdered? So I looked at this question, I'm like, oh, this is a stacked question. Because they put in medical examiner's ruling to tell you.
That sort of, it taints the jury, basically. Well, it's a medical examiner. Right.
So I'm thinking, I'm believing the medical examiner.
This number was crazy. This number was crazy. This number is pretty crazy, yeah.
No. Okay, by 2-1, everybody believes he was murdered. Okay.
44% murdered, was it?
So it's not a majority because there's a whole bunch of people who don't know, right? But like
I'm sure it was
like
42%.
It's like a 40-20. And that's so that's
no,
Democrats.
It's 15% suicide. So it's like a 3-1 almost.
In this one.
Yeah. My theory, so my personal theory, I have not put on my tinfoil hat yet on this stuff. But I've come around to the belief that basically this is all based on nothing, right? But basically they let him die by suicide. Like they're like, Jeffrey, go do your thing. We know what you know. Go do your thing. And so I don't know if that technically means he was murdered. I don't think that technically qualifies as murder. It's just like assisted suicide or something like that. But yeah, that's a crazy number. Basically, and this doesn't surprise me, honestly. I'm not going to reveal too much because I don't want to malign my relative's reputation. But I have a very close relative who I consider a very straight shooter throughout his life, who has recently been calling me up being like, what is going on with this Epstein stuff? And he's just totally buying into the conspiracies. So I assume the rest of the country, and this might be one of those cases where Democrats were probably loath to, believe the conspiracies. But now that it's become much more of an albatross around Trump, they're like kind of plugged in more and more, and then they're wondering if there's some fishy stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, you and I are in 15 to 20% of the public.
Exactly.
Like your relatives, there's 2 or 3 of them for every one of us.
He's straddling the unsure / was murdered divide. I wonder how he would come down. I'm gonna have to pull that person tonight.
So apparently they didn't rig this question enough with the medical examiner, or maybe people are just like, well, if the medical examiner said it, that's fishy. So it must have been. I gotta say,
the medical examiner's in on it.
I actually like your theory because I'm an Occam's razor person. I don't believe in conspiracy, so I'm like,
right.
He hung himself. They have the evidence of it, right? But you kind of bridged it with your theory, yeah, he hung himself, but they could have paid closer attention and they let him do it.
I think that's fairly understand that. It's either like the Bureau of Prisons was doing the absolute worst job possible monitoring someone who was on suicide watch, like a criminally bad job, which I think may have been true, or there was some sort of hey, let the man do what he has to do.
Right. So I kind of like your bridge theory. I can go with that. And then I don't know how you'd answer the question exactly, which way.
No, I think suicide still counts in that situation. But look at me, I'm bridging divides here somehow. Incredible. Who knew?
We're all coming together. Okay, this one is from the YouGov poll. Okay, this is a separate poll. Same time. This just happened the last few days. Okay. Do you think that Donald Trump was involved in crimes allegedly committed by Jeffrey Epstein?
What's the answer, Seth?
So this surprised me. All adults, 46% to 32 said yes. Registered voters, 44 to 35 said yes. Whites, 39 to 37 said yes. Independents, 47 to 23 said yes. So this is not just squiggle the little
Sorry,
letter.
the question is involved in crimes.
Do you think that Donald Trump was involved in crimes allegedly committed by Jeffrey Epstein?
That is wild shit if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Was the president involved in crimes with the most notorious child sex trafficker of our era, maybe of all time? Yes. That's wild.
Yeah,
you don't want that on the resume.
No, and maybe if you're in the White House and you're at the top, or you're thinking about what to release, you really shouldn't be. You should be in the Justice Department if you're dealing with that stuff. But with the political damage at this point, a plurality of voters and Americans believe that your boss was involved in sex crimes. Maybe you're better off getting the truth out if the truth is something short of that.
If the truth is something short of that.
Yeah. So the fact that they aren't putting it out makes you wonder. All right, let me throw in one more. This is also from the YouGov poll. Do you think the government is covering up evidence it has about Epstein?
I mean, that's got to be 95 yes.
So yeah, Democrats overwhelmingly yes, Independents overwhelmingly yes, Republicans 45-26 yes. Okay. Trump voters People who voted for Donald Trump in 2024, 50 to 21. Yes, the government's covering up Epstein.
Now, can you find what's the trend here? I want to know. Are Republicans now moving towards it?
Live here on YouTube.
You're watching the Legal Breakdown. Glenn, we have some news here that
Total chaos continues to break loose across the streets in the United States as Donald Trump's Gestapo goons, ICE, target migrants and citizens alike as they racially profile, as they rip apart families, as they throw people into concentration camps and mock them and say, maybe you'll get eaten by alligators. And they brag about the bounties that they put on the heads of people, and they laugh at the idea of killing people. We have it all caught on tape as well. Have you heard this?
Michael, if it turns out that Ghislaine Maxwell does.
Dude.
Donald Trump finally confesses to knowing.
Every like 2 hours you got.
Get into this chunky salsa. Mexican is this.
I chose the Cornell Johnson MBA program because of the differentiating factor of community, who you have access to here, the way.
Donald Trump finally confesses to knowing about Jeffrey Epstein's terrible transgression, stealing one of Trump's employees. This is just another day. After months and months of getting berated with questions about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, today Donald Trump finally got a brief respite, the way all sitting presidents.
Hey man, they said Jeffrey Epstein is Jesus.
The first course, which we call the old course, and the second course, which we call the new course, because that's the best way to describe. Anything else gets too complicated.
That's right. By engaging in a ribbon cutting ceremony for his own golf course. Because nothing creates more distance in people's minds between you and a pedophile billionaire who owns his own island than promoting a luxury golf resort also on an island. I have to say, it takes massive balls, and not the kind you hit with a club, to claim that there is no conflict of interest here. Not only are you using taxpayer dollars to fund your trip to this ribbon cutting ceremony, but you're using the official White House page to promote it. I'm surprised Trump doesn't make Air Force One fly with a sky banner. What is crystal clear, yet not surprising at all, is that being on an exclusive golf resort without a poor person in sight is Donald Trump's happy place. Or, as Eric would describe it,
this was his Mona Lisa.
That's right, because there's nothing that Donald Trump is used to more than a woman with her arms crossed giving him an uncomfortably fake smile. Here's how you know Donald Trump was in pure heaven.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you to the media. The media's been terrific, believe it or not. I didn't use the word fake news one time, not one time. Today they're not fake news. Today they're wonderful news.
You see that? All it takes for Trump to respect the press is to have them relegated to merely golf resort-based questions. Is that so hard? Well, unfortunately, it is, because only hours later, Trump's honeymoon was over.
Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. Just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women? Some of them young women.
Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken. And it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But
he took the genius straight from
out there.
Then she was younger when she was like that.
Wow. Apparently you don't need any fancy enhanced interrogation techniques to pry information out of Donald Trump. All it takes is about 10 seconds and a microphone in front of his face for him to completely break and admit that he employed minors at his Mar-a-Lago spa, which he wants you to know is not some shabby, run-of-the-mill minor employing spa either.
In the spa. Yeah, people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world in Mar-a-Lago. And people were taken out of the spa.
Look, I know that we're not supposed to be surprised by anything Trump does anymore, but come on, man. The guy is being questioned about his relationship and possible involvement with one of the most depraved and sadistic human beings on the planet. Sorry, Stephen, you'll get there one day. And he can't help himself from squeezing in a plug for his spa? How much less tact can this guy have? I wouldn't be surprised if the next time he addresses the recent shooting in Manhattan, he mentions that the gunman would never have done such a thing at Trump Tower because he would be violent amid such opulence. Even more shocking than what Trump said was the fact that he could not stop talking.
Other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from this spot. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again. And I said, out of here.
Gotta love where Trump draws the line of terrible behavior. Trump's red line when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein is that he poached members of his staff. Just to remind you, in 2002, Trump said, I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy, from the speakerphone. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Again, that quote is from 2002, 1 year after Jeffrey Epstein first trafficked Donald Trump's employee, Magdalena Florida, with the help of Ghislaine Maxwell, who...
I just wish her well, frankly.
Yeah, he wished that woman well. And if you're wondering whether Donald Trump knew that he was employing a minor in a spa that was frequented by a guy who liked women on the younger side...
Did one of those stolen, persons that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of them. He stole her.
Donald Trump knew two things to be true about Jeffrey Epstein. He liked young women, and he liked to poach employees, yet only one of those is a friendship-ending offense. The reality is, while we may have seen two versions of our president today, both versions include a dishonest man more than happy to exploit society's most vulnerable to get what he wants. From the disabled senior on Medicaid to the 16-year-old girl being trafficked to a pedophile. And this has been a core component of Donald Trump for decades. He is a rich asshole who pretends that he's a man of the people. Everybody...
This is the regular season finale. This is Daytona. This is everything. Get your tickets now at Daytona International.
Everybody has eggs now. They're having eggs for breakfast again. Maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30. It's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term, groceries.
If aliens landed on our planet and we had one shot to explain to them what a rich person attempting relatability looked like, that is what we'd show them. A man fascinated with the word groceries. And by the way, if those aliens had giant green heads and oozing scaly skin, but still looked like they might be under 18, guess who's making himself captain of the welcoming committee? The reality is, Donald Trump only cares about wealth. But telling people that is not a winning campaign platform. You can't traverse the country telling voters how you're going to take Medicaid away from 17 million Americans so billionaires can get a little tax cut. You can't say you're going to cut food assistance programs from millions of people while simultaneously raking in cash from shadowy crypto dinners. Nor can you say that if women are being exploited, you won't do anything about it unless it hurts your business. So instead of saying all those, Donald Trump hit the trails with this.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. We will make America great again. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly. And nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours.
All of those slogans are vague by design. Designed to exploit and prey upon the most vulnerable in our nation. Because you can't call Trump a liar if he never really said anything to begin with. Whether Donald Trump was actually involved in nefarious behavior with Jeffrey Epstein remains to be seen, and not releasing that list isn't making his case any stronger. But what is certifiably true is that Donald Trump is willing to dodge any responsibility by any means necessary as long as he's able to keep being the rich guy. You can call him names, accuse him of subverting the Constitution, and deride him for even floating the idea of pardoning a woman who helped sex traffic minors. But if you even dare endanger one of his business opportunities,
out of here.
Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen.
Independent media.
Let's get you to NBC News White House. Let's get you to NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba, NBC's Melanie Zanona on Capitol Hill, NBC Justice reporter Ryan Riley is also in Washington, and then here in New York, MSNBC legal analyst and former Assistant Manhattan District Attorney Catherine Christian. Melanie, tell us about this move from Senator Schumer, and will it work?
Well, there are a lot of questions right now about whether there is any enforcement mechanism for Democrats, given they are in the minority, but they are using this rarely used law in order to at least request the Epstein files. That law states that an executive agency, on the request of the Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs of the Senate, or any 5 members thereof, shall submit any information requested of it relating to any matter within the jurisdiction of the committee. And in this letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, they request all the files, material, any documents related to the Epstein case, but they also implore the agency to take all necessary steps to protect any identifiable information about the victims, as well as removing any materials that depict child sexual abuse. And that was one of the concerns that the administration has cited as a reason why it has yet to release those files. So just another prime example here of how Democrats are trying to capitalize on an issue that has divided the GOP and really trying to keep the heat on President Donald Trump.
And so, Monica, we know the White House has restricted who can discuss Epstein with reporters, but the president has continued to field questions on this day after day, and each time he seems to give new details or raise even more questions. Walk us through this Air Force One exchange and his comments regarding Virginia Giuffre, that crucial Epstein accuser.
Yeah, Anna, over the last couple of days while he was traveling in Scotland, the president was the one introducing some new information, trying to give sort of an evolving explanation of what caused a falling out between him and Jeffrey Epstein.
Did Russia do the hoax?
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We are staying on top of that breaking news. A massive earthquake starting near Russia has triggered tsunami waves from Japan to Hawaii up and down the west coast. This is video from Japan where more than 2 million people being evacuated. Waves as high as 4 feet are hitting the country's east coast. New video from this morning also showing the damage in Russia after the 8.8 magnitude earthquake that hit the country's remote far east. This is one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded. Waves in Russia are ranging from 10 to 13 feet high, according to state media out there. This, of course, sparking concerns in Hawaii at the west coast, and we take you live to San Francisco, where a tsunami wave of 3.6 feet was recorded in Crescent City, that is in Northern California. A tsunami advisory is in effect for the entire California coast. And now to Hawaii, just as San Francisco here. We'll go to Hawaii in a moment for a live look at Waikiki Beach. The tsunami threat was downgraded to an advisory overnight. Officials say the state is past the worst of this and is unlikely to see any impacts bigger than they have already seen. Right now, we're hearing from experts about just how harsh these waves can be.
The traveling speed of a tsunami pretty much is controlled by the water depth of the ocean, which we say bathymetry, and they travel around like 700 kilometers per hour, which is like jet plane. And it's usually very small in the deep ocean. It's pretty quiet in the deep ocean, but once the tsunami wave reach the shallow water, and then the energy release will be in the forms of wave height, and the water will pile up and cause severe damage along the coast.
And while some residents have been permitted to go back to their homes, many were told yesterday to evacuate. Here's a time lapse from yesterday showing heavy traffic jams next to a marina in downtown Honolulu. Evacuation orders for coastal zones have also been canceled. Officials say residents returning should be keeping an eye out for some damage. The governor in Hawaii, Josh Green, provided an update on what's happening out there and the warnings.
So again, you can expect a tsunami wave to hit the state, and it will not just hit one beach. It will wrap around the islands very likely, therefore causing a wave in Hilo, in Kona, in Kauai and on Maui, you have to be safe, and please do not come back out until we give you the all clear. That will be very important. We'll be constantly updating you. Everything has been okay so far. We haven't seen a big wave, but when that water receded in Haleiwa and we saw some boats kind of laying on the dry rock and sand, that gave us pause. That doesn't happen for no reason. When the water pulls back like that, that means there's activity in the ocean. So again, we keep our fingers crossed that we don't suffer a big tsunami. Again, people have been very thoughtful and very safe, and that's something we appreciate.
Now, earlier we had an opportunity to talk to somebody currently in Hawaii, Dr. Rose Moten, who is a clinical psychologist and director of the Bloom Transportation Center. She has been here local for many times. She's actually one of the people writing out these warnings in Hawaii. Here's part of that conversation.
We've had reports from the governor and other individuals from the tsunami center here. And even though those waves don't sound, when you hear 3 feet, 5 feet, that's not really taken into consideration the real gravity of the damage that it can cause. Fortunately, where we are, we just kept driving. I literally told my children I could feel my ears popping, so I knew we were, on higher ground. We don't have any view right now of I'm looking over to the side. I can see, the lights down in Maui now, but it's 11 p.m. here now. So it's nighttime and I'm not able to see any water from where I am.
We're going to keep an eye on this all day and bring you updates throughout the day on Local 4 Plus and ClickOnDetroit.com. Well, we're talking about so many things. We're going to keep an eye on other big stories right now. New concerns about funding cuts that could impact the Great Lakes, how it could affect everything from shipping to tourism. And we'll talk about your money. With the Federal Reserve is set to make a decision on interest rates today, we're going to hear from Consumer Reports about the easiest ways to pay off any debt that you might have. And then that infamous
look anything sometimes.
You can believe it. Today marks 50 years.
Take this off another guy. Then I was about to say it. I don't like to say it.
Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. I'm just curious, were some of the work...
They were these things so funny. So Trump fit Epstein so underage.
Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. Just
I'm joined now by the founder and
I don't let you know that she was underage when Trump got her. Trump got her.
Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Jason Crow of Colorado. He's a combat veteran and member of the House Armed Services.
What is she doing in my life where she's already underage with Roy and
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana. We've already sold over 2.9 million barrels, creating steady jobs.
Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Jason Crow of Colorado. He's a combat veteran and member of the House Armed Services Committee, as well as the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, thanks for being with us this morning. As this recess for the summer gets underway, what are you hearing most from your constituents?
Well, my colleagues are absolutely right. Economics, the cost of housing, the fact that it is excruciatingly difficult to raise a family in America today, those are the things that remain our top priority. But that doesn't mean that we don't talk about rank corruption and rank hypocrisy, right? It's a false choice to say, do we talk about Epstein or do we talk about everyday kitchen table issues? We can do both, right? The focus should continue to be on the issues that Americans are struggling with, and it will be. But listen, Donald Trump clearly does not want to talk about this. He clearly wants to sweep this under the rug, which is telling. I mean, desperately, he's trying to get rid of this story, which says that, there's something that people should be concerned about.
You know, it seems to me, Congressman, this isn't a hard sell. I mean, you have a bill. Republicans voted to take away doctors from Americans that live in rural states, to take away pediatricians from children, take out basic healthcare services, basic healthcare coverage, and also take food out of children's mouths. I mean, and you look at the polling, a lot of people say, oh, well, that food assistance, it's probably not very popular with middle America. Well, no, actually, Republicans are upside down on slashing food assistance for children, slashing food assistance for the most needy among us. And where's all that money going for the cuts? Shutting down rural hospitals, shutting down nursing homes, shutting down healthcare for Americans in red and blue state America. It's going to tax cuts for billionaires. It's going to corporate welfare for multinational corporations, for oil companies. I could go on and on and on. This is not hard. They stole from the poor to give to the rich. It seems to me Americans don't think that's fair. They don't think that's right. And they don't think that's what they want in Washington.
Well, because it's not, right? This is the single largest transfer of wealth in American history from the middle class, from the American middle class and working class to the top 1% of billionaires. That is simply just a fact, right? And even if folks say, hey, you know, I'm not on Medicare, I'm not on Medicaid, I don't use these programs, which some people say, I point out you can't remove $1 trillion from the healthcare system and not have it impact everybody. You think it's hard to get an appointment now? Do you think it's hard to find a healthcare provider now or to access a clinic? Just you wait until all of these hospital closures happen, until people leave the profession, before nurses and doctors say enough is enough. You know, there are thousands, tens of thousands of healthcare practitioners who are right on the verge of leaving the profession now because they just can't stay afloat. This is going to put them under, they're going to leave, and this is going to send shockwaves through the entire system. So that's what this bill is about. This is the worst piece of legislation that I have ever voted on in my time in Congress, which is saying something because I voted on some terrible things. And people see it, and it's going to impact red communities, Republican districts the worst.